My uncle gave you a chance when he saved you from the mines. Don't make him regret it. When all is said and done, we'll rest easy, knowing we gave everything for this family. And those who stood against us, they'll be buried deep, right where they belong. You did good today. But a mine boy.
Mafia: The Old Country releases tomorrow, and it's already being called one of the most anticipated story-driven games of the year. Set in 1900 Sicily, this prequel dives deep into the roots of the Mafia. No flashy open-world chaos, just raw, focused storytelling. You play as Enzo Favara, a former sulfur miner rising through the ranks of the Teresi crime family, where every decision cuts deeper than the last. The gameplay leans into brutal hand-to-hand combat, era-specific firearms, and stealth mechanics, all while navigating crumbling cathedrals, moonlit vineyards, and dusty roads by horseback or early motor cars. Built with Unreal Engine 5, the game looks phenomenal, with gritty lighting, full Sicilian voice acting, and a hauntingly realistic atmosphere. What makes this one stand out is its return to form, tight pacing, cinematic direction, and a personal story that echoes the golden age of the franchise. If you're a fan of Mafia 1 or 2, this is the comeback you've been waiting for. Mafia: The Old Country launches August 8th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Battlefield 6 brings the Warzone closer than ever before, and not just visually. It's 2027 and global alliances have shattered. You play as Dagger 13, a US Marine Raider squad fighting to stop Pax Armada, a rogue private military group with access to the kind of tech that could flip the power balance of the entire planet. This isn't a tale of good versus evil, it's chaos versus control, told through an explosive single-player campaign that spans deserts, cities, and storm-ravaged oceans. Multiplayer, of course, is the real Battlefield. Conquest, Breakthrough, Rush all return, but now they're joined by new modes like King of the Hill and an upgraded Portal mode that lets players remix weapons, rules, and maps from across the series. The classic Assault, Engineer, Support, and Recon classes are back, but each now has subclass training paths, opening up new specializations mid-match. And combat feels different. The new kinesthetic system introduces dragging down teammates, firing while prone on vehicles, and tight interior shootouts. Powered by a new Frostbite engine, destruction isn't just cinematic, it's tactical. Blow out a stairwell, collapse a roof, or knock out lighting to turn an ambush into survival horror. With surround audio and environmental physics this reactive, you don't just play the map, you fight through it. Developed by DICE, Ripple Effect, Criterion, and Motive, and published by Electronic Arts, Battlefield 6 launches on October 10th, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
Who are you? I thought we killed your whole family.
The snake. The Oni. The Kitsune. The spider. The dragon. Lord Saito.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito? I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that? It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Ghost of Yōtei releases October 2, exclusively for PS5, and it's Sucker Punch's boldest project yet. Set over 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima, the story follows Atsu, a Ronin of Ainu heritage who returns as an Onryo, a vengeful spirit driven by grief. Her targets are the Yōtei 6, legendary warriors who burned her village and shattered her family. But this isn't a tale of honor. It's about rage, silence, and what's left behind when tradition fails. You'll explore the snowbound wilderness around Mount Yōtei with no quest markers or guidance, only rumors, wind, and intuition. The campaign is non-linear. Each boss can be hunted in any order, shaping the story and how people react to you. Combat is brutal and fluid, letting you swap between dual katanas, odachi kusarigama, a spear, or even old matchlock firearms. A wolf companion companion joins you on your journey, sniffing out trails, ambushing enemies, and creating unique stealth opportunities. The world is dynamic, from frozen lakes and crimson shrines to aurora-lit forests. Kurosawa mode offers grainy black and white film aesthetics. Miike mode brings up-close violence and blood, while Watanabe mode replaces combat music with lo-fi beats and quiet snowfall. The team consulted Ainu cultural historians to ensure respect and depth across every detail. Developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, Ghost of Yōtei releases October 2, 2025, only on PlayStation 5.
You are no longer a Vault Hunter. You may have had free will out there in the myriad galaxies. But here, on Kairos, you serve the use I have for you.
Our minds fly free, beyond his control. Now, it's your turn.
I will return to the Timekeeper's side. May we rule forever.
Heard you were rounding up some Vault Hunters. Reporting for duty, boss.
Borderlands 4 is heading our way on September 12th, and it's bigger, wilder, and more open than ever before. Set on a new planet called Kairos, the game throws you into a chaotic rebellion against a tyrant known as the Timekeeper and his synthetic army, the Order. This time, the war isn't just about vaults, it's about rewriting fate itself. The world of Kairos is vast, seamless, and completely explorable. No loading screens, no limits. If you see something, you can get there. From toxic sand dunes to neon-lit ruins, everything is layered with secrets, loot, and chaos. You'll choose from 4 new Vault Hunters, including Vex, a siren with phase-distorting powers, and Rafa, a modular exo-soldier who can adapt to any situation. Mobility is on another level now. Double jumps, gliding, grapple hooks, and hover bikes let you fight and move with style. Combat leans hard into customization. The new licensed parts system lets you mix weapon traits from different brands, making each gun feel uniquely yours. Public events, bounty contracts, and primordial vaults add more variety to the moment-to-moment gameplay, with narrative depth that pushes far beyond the usual Borderlands formula. And with full crossplay and 4-player co-op, the mayhem feels more alive than ever. Borderlands 4 is developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K Games, launching September 12th, 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
Breathe. Let your body settle into a slower rhythm. Clear your mind of all distractions. You don't have to walk this path alone. Surround yourself with resourceful friends.
Raiders drops you into the ruins of Earth, not as a savior, but as a scavenger. Humanity now lives underground in a place called Speranza, hiding from the skyborne machines known as Ark. On the surface, the world is a dead zone, patrolled by synthetic hunters, filled with risk, and littered with forgotten tech. But that's where the best loot is, and that's where you go. This is a third-person extraction shooter with a brutal loop. Raid, scavenge, survive. You've got 30 minutes per run, and if you die, everything you're carrying is gone. The surface is shared with other raiders too, so every mission becomes a PvPvE chess match. Do you risk open combat for rare gear, or sneak past both players and robots to make it out alive? You'll return to Speranza to craft weapons, level up skills, and prepare for your next drop. Your loadout, build, and gear extraction strategy shape how each run plays out. The world, built in Unreal Engine 5, is grimy and gorgeous, a collapsed city wrapped in old-world rust and sci-fi steel. You'll encounter dynamic weather, vertical traversal, and a companion named Scrappy, a robotic rooster that collects resources mid-mission. Ark Raiders is developed and published by Embark Studios, built by ex-DICE veterans behind Battlefield. It launches October 30th, 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Little Nightmares 3 invites you into the Spiral, a haunting realm stitched together from the subconscious fears of lost children. This time, you're not alone. You play as Lo, a quiet boy armed with a bow, and Alone, a determined girl wielding a wrench. Together, you're trapped in a world that constantly shifts, each level becoming more twisted, more personal, like a nightmare you can't wake up from. This third entry reimagines the series with a major step forward: online co-op. You can now survive the horror together with a friend, or play solo with a surprisingly capable AI companion. Each character plays differently. Lo uses arrows to solve puzzles and distract enemies from afar, while Alone breaks barriers and gets up close when things get dangerous. Their cooperation isn't just helpful, it's essential. The Spiral itself is more varied and surreal than anything before it. You'll explore rotting fairgrounds, hollow deserts, and candy-coated factories that hide something deeply wrong beneath the surface. And it's not just for atmosphere. The world is alive with mechanical traps, unpredictable threats, and environmental storytelling that makes every level feel like a memory gone wrong. Little Nightmares 3 is developed by Supermassive Games and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. It launches October 10th, 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Switch 2.
The continent of Pywell. A land soaked in blood by the battles of those who seek peace and those who seek to shatter it.
There are beings who brought chaos to Providence. The rifts they have created will return everything to nothingness. We seek to correct this.
I had my own mission, seeking out my Greyling comrades.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the disrupted providence.
For those who have died, for those who have survived, and for those who will live on, this is our
Crimson Desert is shaping up to be Pearl Abyss's most ambitious story yet. A gritty open-world action RPG set in the war-torn lands of Pywell. You step into the boots of Cliff McDuff, a battle-hardened mercenary caught in the political chaos that follows a king's collapse. But this isn't just a tale of swords and succession. It's a world of shifting allegiances, crumbling empires, and the quiet weight of survival in a broken land. Combat here is brutal, cinematic, and fast-paced. Inspired by games like God of War, Crimson Desert emphasizes real-time action, where dodging, parrying, and exploiting enemy weaknesses is essential. You'll fight everything from armored soldiers to mutated beasts and towering bosses. Every weapon swing feels deliberate, every hit personal. And it's not just about action. There are moments of quiet too, climbing cliffs, trading goods, or just watching the weather change across the mountains. Built on the Black Space engine, Crimson Desert boasts sweeping landscapes, dense villages, and realistic lighting that brings the medieval fantasy setting to life. From snow-swept battlegrounds to fungal caverns and moonlit ruins, the game isn't afraid to flex its scale or detail. Developed and published by Pearl Abyss, Crimson Desert is slated for late 2025, launching on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC.
What can you tell me about the Baron?
He's a narcissistic sociopath. He's experimenting on humans like they're lab rats. God only knows what the Baron's planning to do with those monsters.
His walls are, or how big his army is. That fucker will pay for what he did to me. All the years he took from me, all the agony he put me through.
You want revenge?
Damn right I do!
Dying Like the Beast marks the return of Kyle Crane, but he's not the same man who once fought to save Haran. Infected and altered by inhuman experiments, Crane is now a force of nature, dropped into the eerie wilderness of Castor Woods to hunt down the Baron, a man who turned him into something monstrous. The forests are thick with mist, shadows, and something worse than the undead. This isn't just about survival, it's about revenge and control. Built as a standalone spin-off from Dying Light 2, The Beast doubles down on first-person action and mobility. Combat is raw and relentless, mixing brutal melee with improved gunplay and, for the first time, vehicle combat. Parkour is faster and heavier, made even more chaotic by Beast Mode, a new mechanic that lets Crane unleash devastating power, tear through enemies, and throw cars like weapons. It feels less like a survivor and more like a hunter. The game also leans hard into co-op with up to 4-player progression, but the story is personal and haunting. Castor Woods is inspired by Twin Peaks, quiet towns, deep forest trails, and strange rituals buried beneath familiar places. It's a shift from urban decay to rural horror filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. Developed and published by Techland, Dying Like the Beast releases on September 19th, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
I'd care that the colony is in disarray. We didn't come to Arcadia to get bogged down in pointless warfare. We came to spread freedom and liberate resources for profit. But this pesky Earth Directorate agent is mucking things up. They're not alone in doing so. And they think they can just choose how things play out. They could stop us from stealing the Protectorate's brainwashing technology, which we need to improve our market share. What if this stranger aligned with the Order and that world computer of theirs? That could be the key to closing the rifts that threaten the colonies. So, you see why this menace must be wiped from the face of existence. Or, better yet, brought to our side through the power of capitalism. Now, let's get out there and buy our way to victory!
The Outer Worlds 2 takes everything quirky, sharp, and unpredictable about the first game and launches it into an even stranger galaxy. Set on the new corporate-run colony of Arcadia, you play as an agent for the Earth Directorate, dropped in to investigate mysterious rifts in time and space. But you quickly get swept into a civil war between authoritarian powers, anarchist rebels, and mega corporations like Auntie's Choice. The charm is still here: witty dialogue, wild weaponry, and that satirical lens on unchecked capitalism. The core gameplay stays familiar: first-person exploration, branching conversations, tactical gunplay, and stealth. But every system has been upgraded. The perk and flaw mechanics are deeper, companions react more dynamically, and faction relationships feel more alive. You'll negotiate peace, sabotage networks, and hack drones to pull off stealth kills, or just go loud with a shrink ray and explosive hammer. And it still feels like an RPG made for troublemakers. You can lie, manipulate, or joke your way through half the galaxy. Visually, Arcadia is vivid and surreal, from glitching monoliths to neon cities warped by time distortions. Built with more firepower under Obsidian's belt, it's sharper, faster, and funnier. And with director Tim Kaine back as creative advisor, there's a grounded confidence behind every decision. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios, The Outer Worlds 2 launches on October 29th, 2025 for Xbox Series XS, PS5, and PC, with Day 1 Xbox Game Pass.
Use extra caution.
That guy? No, he's close. Where did he go?
We've
lost sight of the enemy. Find him. We're under fire. Enemy position unknown.
Loading like this? It's a revolution.
All right, Commander.
Burn, baby!
Take this! Here comes another one!
You won't get away from me!
Time for you to taste some real pain!
What's the matter? I'm over here. Go back to your own world.
See you in hell! I'll grind you into dust! What the?
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater isn't just a remake, it's a restoration of one of gaming's most iconic origin stories, the mission that shaped Big Boss. Set in 1964 during the height of the Cold War, you play as Naked Snake, sent deep into enemy territory to rescue a Soviet scientist and sabotage a deadly superweapon. But nothing goes as planned. As betrayals unfold, Snake is forced to question everything: loyalty, legacy, and the cost of being a soldier. Built in Unreal Engine 5, this remake keeps the soul of the original alive, from its dense jungle stealth to the haunting boss fights, but brings it all forward with modern systems. There are two full control schemes: Legacy Mode, which mimics the PS2 Classic, and New Style, offering fluid third-person gameplay. Classic CQC, camouflage, and survival mechanics return, now paired with tighter animations, new damage effects, and a reworked UI. There's more than just nostalgia here. The game adds new content like Fox Hunt, a stealth multiplayer mode, and platform-exclusive extras like Snake vs. Monkey and Snake vs. Bomberman. Additions range from standard to collectors, with early access for deluxe buyers. Even Hideo Kojima, the original creator, has chosen not to play this remake, preferring to let the game stand on its own. Developed and published by Konami, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater launches on August 28, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.